Imagine waking up one day to discover that you've unknowingly been making a financial mistake that could cost you millions. Yes, millions. It's the kind of mistake most of us are guilty of making, all due to a little thing called cognitive bias. This hidden culprit quietly sabotages our financial decisions without us even realizing it, and the most shocking part? It could be eroding your wealth as we speak. Let's dive into how this all happens. You see, cognitive bias is like an invisible hand that nudges you towards decisions that feel right, but might actually be wrong. Our brains are wired to take shortcuts, especially when dealing with complex issues like money. We like things simple, quick, and easy, but that's exactly where the danger lies. This tendency to rely on these mental shortcuts often leads us into what's known as confirmation bias. We tend to seek out information that confirms what we already believe, ignoring anything that contradicts it. For instance, say you're convinced that investing in trendy tech stocks is a sure way to wealth. You might end up only reading articles that praise tech stocks, disregarding warnings or signs that suggest otherwise. This bias lures you into making investments that could be riskier than you realize. It's not just about investments either. It affects everything from how you budget to how you perceive debt. The real issue? We often don't even recognize this bias in ourselves. Now, you might be wondering just how deeply can this bias affect our decision-making? Imagine you're at a crossroads. On one path, there's a steady, safe investment opportunity. On the other, a high-risk, high-reward venture that promises to triple your money overnight. Cognitive bias might push you towards the riskier path simply because it aligns with your dreams of quick wealth. This kind of decision-making driven by bias is like gambling with your financial future. You may win big occasionally, but more often than not, you lose. Let's take a real-world example to see how this plays out over time. Consider the case of John, a successful professional in his 30s. John had always been keen on investing, and like many, he was drawn to the allure of doubling his money quickly through volatile markets. He poured thousands into a few trending stocks, confident they would continue to rise. But here's where confirmation bias kicked in. As the market began to shift, he clung to positive news about these stocks and dismissed warnings. He didn't sell when he should have, convinced that a rebound was just around the corner. Over the next few years, John's portfolio suffered losses he could have avoided had he diversified and paid attention to broader market signals. His bias not only cost him potential gains, but also valuable time in the market. And time, as we know, is one of the most critical elements in building wealth. This example isn't isolated. Many investors, both seasoned and new, fall into this trap, letting their biases dictate their financial moves. But it gets even more pervasive. Studies have shown that this thinking error is alarmingly common and deeply ingrained. Behavioral economists have found that most people, regardless of their level of financial literacy, fall prey to cognitive biases. A study from the Journal of Financial Planning revealed that investors who succumb to these biases consistently underperform compared to those who maintain a more objective approach. The kicker? These biases can manifest in subtle ways, making them extraordinarily difficult to identify and correct on your own. Financial mistakes born out of bias don't just affect your investments, they ripple through every aspect of your financial life. From how you perceive your purchasing power to how you manage debt, these biases can lead you to make choices that seem rational but are anything but. Have you ever bought something on impulse, convinced it was a deal too good to pass up, only to regret it later? That's cognitive bias at work. It thrives on emotion over logic, encouraging decisions that feel good now but might not stand the test of time. So how do you combat this invisible foe? First, acknowledge that you might not be as rational as you think. This is step 1 in making better financial decisions. Recognizing the existence of cognitive bias is crucial to mitigating its effects. Once you're aware of it, you can start seeking out diverse perspectives and challenging your assumptions. It's about cultivating a habit of seeking out information that challenges your beliefs and broadens your understanding. As we continue, we'll explore the strategies that can help you identify and counteract these biases effectively, ensuring they don't derail your financial goals. Stay tuned, because correcting this mistake could be the key to unlocking financial security. Let's dig deeper into the data. Numerous studies highlight just how widespread cognitive biases are and the far-reaching impact they have on your finances. Behavioral economists have been probing this territory for years, uncovering just how deceptive our brains can be when it comes to managing money. In their findings, a staggering number of investors often fall victim to these biases, which can lead to significant financial underperformance. A particularly eye-opening study published in the Journal of Financial Planning showed that investors who let cognitive biases influence their decisions consistently lag behind those who approach investments with a more rational, data-driven mindset. But what makes these biases so pervasive and insidious? It turns out these thinking errors are deeply embedded in human psychology. Our brains are wired to process information quickly, which often means taking mental shortcuts that can lead to faulty conclusions. We're naturally inclined to seek patterns even where none exist and to favor information that confirms our existing beliefs. This is why cognitive biases are such a potent force in financial decision-making. They operate quietly in the background, often going unnoticed until it's too late. Now that we understand the scope and impact of cognitive biases, the big question remains, how can you protect yourself against them? The first step is recognition. Acknowledge that everyone, no matter how savvy, can fall prey to these biases. This realization is empowering because it opens the door to change. Once you accept that you're susceptible, you can take actionable steps to mitigate their effects. One effective strategy is to cultivate a habit of critical thinking. Challenge your assumptions by actively seeking out information that contradicts your beliefs. This can be uncomfortable at first, but is crucial for developing a well-rounded perspective. When faced with a financial decision, take a step back and ask yourself, is this choice driven by solid evidence, or am I being swayed by my biases? By questioning your motivations, you create a buffer between impulse and action, allowing for more measured and rational decisions. Another powerful tool is diversification. This isn't just about spreading your investments across different assets, though that's important too. Diversification should extend to the sources of information you consume. Read widely from diverse viewpoints, consult with advisors who challenge your perspectives, and be open to feedback. This broadens your understanding and diminishes the influence of any single bias. Moreover, setting clear financial goals can serve as a compass in the often tumultuous journey of wealth building. When you have well-defined objectives, it's easier to evaluate whether your decisions are helping or hindering your progress. Regularly review your financial plan and adjust it as needed to ensure it aligns with your long-term aspirations. This practice helps keep cognitive biases in check because it roots your decisions in a framework of objective criteria rather than fleeting impulses. Additionally, consider leveraging technology and automation. Tools that provide analytics and insights can help you see patterns and trends more clearly, free from emotional interference. Automated investing platforms, for example, can help eliminate the tendency to trade based on instinct rather than strategy. By offloading some decision-making to unbiased systems, you reduce the risk of cognitive biases clouding your judgment. Finally, cultivating patience and discipline is key. Wealth building isn't about making a quick buck, it's a marathon, not a sprint. Embrace the virtue of patience by focusing on long-term gains rather than immediate gratification. This mindset shifts your focus from short-lived victories to sustainable growth, reducing the allure of high-risk gambles driven by cognitive biases. As you implement these strategies, remember that the goal is not to eliminate all biases, an impossible task, but to manage their influence so that they don't derail your financial trajectory. By doing so, you protect yourself from costly mistakes and maintain a clear path towards financial security. In closing, recognizing and correcting cognitive biases might just be the most critical step you can take towards safeguarding your wealth. By actively working to counter these biases, you empower yourself to make more informed, rational decisions that pave the way for long-term success. If you found this insight helpful and want more strategies to enhance your financial journey, be sure to subscribe to our channel. We're here to help you navigate the complexities of personal finance and build the wealth you deserve. Don't forget to hit the notification bell to stay updated with our latest content. Thank you for watching, and remember, your financial future is in your hands.